It'll say the rank is 436,000 in kitchen. And they go, are you insane? And I said, well, the reason why I bought it is because I've already sold 2 of them last month. Okay, it's a Calphalon pan. And they're like, yeah, but it's 436K. I said, yeah, but there's only one other offer in me. And that guy's asking for 129, I only want 119. So mine sold. And they go, oh, but it's just, there's so much to this that you learn over time that comes from experience. And that's the number one thing that it really bothers me is that people don't want to get the experience. Everybody wants to get there quickly. And if you want to last, if you want to continue, and you want to make it, you got to get your own experiences. A lot of people will sit and they'll want to join a group, or they're going to join what they call masterminds, and they'll say, I don't know anything. Nobody's going to want me. Everybody knows something. Everybody in here has experiences that I don't have. When I walk into a Walgreens and I'm looking to buy cosmetics, I'm an ugly guy. I don't have any idea what to wear. So I walk up to the lady at the counter, and I don't care if she's 20 or 86. I go, how you doing, beautiful? Love that hair, or whatever, you know? Especially if it's that blue-brown chartreuse that women wear now. And they go, hi. And I go, how you doing? My name is John. I spent $30,000 in Walgreens last month, and I want to spend a lot of money at this counter. Oh, really? And that's going to justify their position, because if they don't sell enough stuff, then they don't get no. There's only so many authorizations in this. And I'll say, you got a whole big box of coupons down there, you know? Is there anything good going on now that's got points coming in, that's a 2-for-1 or whatever, and you got a coupon? And they'll go, oh yeah, they'll bring it up. She'll go, here. I was in one store, and the lady stopped me before I left and gave me 64 things of deodorant for free. She sat there ringing them up, showing me, see, I can't give you the 10 cents extra, but you're such a sweet guy. And I gave them out. They weren't even worth selling on Amazon. I mean, I might have to put them in an 8-pack, but once again, the biggest was a 3-pack, and it wasn't worth it to me, so I just gave them away and stuff because I didn't want to hurt her feelings. And she was really proud that she gives away more stuff than anybody else. And I said, and they still, oh yeah, they like me. So the idea is, everybody in here knows something. You have children that I don't have at the right age. You have parents, you have family, you have experiences, you have jobs, you know, that you can bring to the table. Because that's the thing that really irks me, is when people get mad about me sharing. Because they'll say, John, you just shared 100 possible shoes in my last book that you can find in you know, wherever, Walgreens or any place, or in Marshall's, TJ Maxx. And I'm like, yeah, I shared 100 out of 50,000. You know, yeah, but you know, I was buying that one too. I said, well, then buy more, get more stuff. I just believe in abundance, and so that's the way I do it. It makes me feel good, and I like people with certain like minds. So if you contact me and you PM me and you're developing your business and you want to talk, I'll be happy to. If you PM me and say, I can't believe you did that, then please don't contact me again, because I don't have time. So, okay, next.
I see a question.
Uh-oh, Cynthia, this is one of the, you know, super gurus here, you know.
Oh, no. It's not,
I'm a mere child in her presence.
It's not a scary question, John. Actually, I was just curious, what categories do you find overall most profitable and maybe least saturated with other sellers?
Okay, as I said, I did a lot of Walgreens in the past, and that's why I did the Walgreens book and the Target book. HBA was probably 60% of my first million, and health and beauty, and it was mainly from end caps at Walgreens and from the clearance sections in Marshalls and Target and everything else. So, but because of my little experience with suspension, and it seems like a lot of other people are having the same problems, that's why Cynthia has her business now, and I figured it wasn't the right thing to do. So, fourth quarter of last year, I switched to toys. And toys are pretty much a little bit simpler. The returns aren't as much, but then there's a lot of people in on it. So, especially coming up Q4, everybody in the neighborhood goes in on it, but the velocity usually helps out with it. It wasn't until recently, June 4th, I sold my first pair of shoes. And for me, that was an epiphany, just like other people when they first go out. I was in Houston, and there was a lady named Husha Moore, who was this great lady, and usually I'm the one showing everybody. We walk into the store, and I say, buy that, buy that, buy that, buy that. You know, and she goes, John, let me show you what I found in Marshalls. And next thing I know, she had 3 shopping carts full of shoes. And I was like, holy, I'm gonna pass.
That's okay.
And I was like, this is awesome. And so she said, and not only did she just not buy them, she said, John, come here, John. And she would show me, and she opened my eyes to shoes. Well, the reason why I didn't like shoes is because of my past experience in eBay. Okay? Some of you in eBay may know what it's like to mail things out to people. It's the wrong size. I mean, I had I had shorts, men's shorts, they complain about. Size 36, shorts from Dillard's. They don't fit. Well, it's not my fault. You gained some weight. But women, I don't expect this from a man, okay? So this was the final, I said, I'm never going to buy clothing and shoes. So I was determined I was not going to buy. But she told me, hey, flip-flops, Crocs, stuff like that, easy, loose-fitting type things, not high heels, not 6-inch stilettos. The return's not that bad. So it opened my eyes, and I actually got to feel the experience that I probably had 20 years ago when I first started selling on eBay, that I actually could make money at this. And everybody asked me, when do you have that epiphany? When do you see the gold through the trees? And I'm like, I don't know, it was so long ago for me. So I couldn't identify with newbies, as we call them. So this helped me to identify with it. So right now, if you would ask me, the category probably doesn't even exist in my mind yet because I haven't sold it. But for what I am now doing, as I mentioned the other night on this Zoomcast thing, if it wasn't for me having a following of people, then I feel obligated to show other stuff other than shoes. I would probably become, instead of TRex, I would become Croc Man. And I would just buy Crocs. Because there are so many out there.
And there's a lot of new styles, too.
There's every day it comes out. And they're not, nobody's got them on there, okay? I don't build listings, okay? I just cheat and take everybody else's, okay? So, but if you walk into a Marshall's and you scan 20 different pairs of Converse sneakers, you're probably going to find 4 or 5 that'll scan. If you look up the other ones, you might find 4 that if you look them up, you can tell on your little phone, yeah, that might be it. That's sky blue pink, 2 stripes, kind of looks like it, Then, but the other 10 aren't even on Amazon. Don't you think those weird children that dress gothic are going to want them too? Okay, so, I mean, you got teenagers, some of you, you know what they wear. So, to me, the gold mine right now isn't shoes, okay? Creating your own listings. Don't buy 10 of them, go out and buy one. Buy one with the stripes upside down, one with the light green, one with this. And if you're the first person putting it on there and you price it at a reasonable price based on the other ones that are in that category at $49 and you're paying $20 after your gift card, then you'll sell it. And if it sells, then you go buy another one. During the break when I was chowing down, Jim here was asking me some questions, and one of the things we talked about is my pet peeve on replens. Okay?
On what?
Replens, replenishables.
Okay.
Okay? Everybody will tell you the key to this business is to have replenishables. That you should have all these things, whether it's wholesale or even RA, where you can walk into a Walmart and pick up 6, and then you pick up 6 more and whatever, and you end up doing it. A replenishable in TRex terminology is I bought it, I sold it, I'm going to buy more of them. Okay? Not, oh, I bought one, I sold one, I'm going to buy 600 of them. And then wonder why they don't sell because everybody else did the same thing. Okay? So I normally only have about 4 of each item. I don't go really deep, I go really wide. That's why I can share what I'm doing. The reason why you don't see many other people say, hey, this is all the stuff I bought, look at this, it's because they're afraid you're going to buy it and they're not going to sell their stuff. I don't care. Because if you come in on it with 50 and I have to sell the last 2 at $1 off, I just don't buy it again. Because I didn't make money on the last 2. And so I sell about 40,000 items a year. Okay, also, what I'm doing now, my new thing with raising the average selling price, okay, I'm more concerned about my profit than I am about ROI at this level. I want to make at least $5 on every item. So if I'm looking at something because I'm not buying a little low-hanging fruit anymore for, this is $3 and I can make 5
Kelly
on
likes
it,
that
but then I have to
low-hanging
pay
fruit.
prep ship and all that stuff, it ends up being 2, it's not worth it to me. I'd rather pay $25. I'd rather buy a pair of polo shoes for $24.99 and get $8 back. That gives me $1.50 to give to Tony, $1 from going in, and I still make $6. Well, you'll say, oh, only $6 for $24.99? I'm at a financial place where I can do that now. I didn't have it in the beginning, okay? Started out with $500 3.5 years ago. So the difference for me is if I'm selling 40,000 items in a year and I'm getting $6 a piece for them, that's not a bad little coin right there. And I don't have an MD or anything else. So I'm perfectly content with this volume.
Okay.
That doesn't mean you have to do volume. Do what you're comfortable with. The other thing that bothers me is a lot of people sit there and they'll see somebody selling 100K in a month, and all of a sudden that person's a guru. Oh, they're it. I'm going to worship this person because he sold 100K. You don't know what he did. He might have spent $50,000 in credit cards to get that. Might have only made $6,000. You should respect the fact that he handled $100,000 worth of stuff going through his business, but don't want to be him. You will find people that are doing $10,000, $20,000 a month that are making more than people doing $100,000. If you like doing that, you don't want to build a business, then stick with it. The thing I tell people is, don't ask to be in other people's shoes. They won't fit, and you may not like them. And a lot of people look at me and say, I want to be you when I grow up. No, you don't. I'm old, I'm tired, I'm wore out, okay? Stay young, don't kill yourselves. You know, I'm just doing this because I got a 2-year plan to, you know, exit stage right, and that's what I hope to do.
I have a question. Have you
What's
ever
new?
been, have you ever been approached by a manager of a store or kicked out? Because I have.
Okay, yeah, in the 360-something Walgreens I've been in, I've had one call the police on me. That was in Daytona, because I was scanning. I guess he thought I was from CVS or something. The police officer came up to me and asked me what I was doing, and I didn't say, I just said I'm scanning the item to see what it sells for online, so that I can get a better price. Well, you're not allowed to do that. I said, since when? You know, and the police officer got a little stern. He says, they don't want you doing that, you need to leave the store. And I said, okay, and I have not set foot in that one since. Then, on Black Friday evening, Target had a big line around the store, and I didn't want to stay in the line. So I said, instead of going to Target, I'm going to hit 3 Walgreens in my immediate area. The second Walgreens I get in, I had 5 shopping carts lined up, 4 of each item in it, because I only buy 4, even though there was dozens. And I'm up at the front counter, and the new assistant manager didn't know who I was, and the young lady didn't know who I was. How that was possible, I don't know, but they didn't know who I was. So she comes up, and we're ringing it up, and the assistant manager comes up, and she goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm shopping. And she goes, well, you can only have 1 of that. So I said, okay. So I took the other 3, and I put them off to the side. And she goes, no, 1 of each thing in the cart. I said, since when? And she goes, that's my policy. I said, doesn't say it. You got 64 of these Snuggies right here, you know, Frozen or whoever, Spider-Man or whatever. I said, I took 4. She goes, well, you're only allowed 1 of each. I said, okay. And I smiled at her, and I walk out to my car. And she's following my car. Where are you going? I said, I'm leaving. She said, you can't leave. You got all that stuff in there. I said, there's no losses. I got to buy this stuff. Have fun putting it back. And I get in my car, and while her mouth is hanging down the ground, I just drove away, left her with $1,500 worth of merchandise, put it back. So that's out of all those stores. Before I used to really concentrate, and I used to make it a personal thing to get managers to give me deals. And when I came to CES, it's an event that was here last year, I was in a Walgreens and I went up to the end cap, and I was scanning it, and there was a few things that I wanted to buy. And so I asked for a manager, and he came up and he goes, how can I help you? And I said, I sell online, and we've got a lot of clearance here. I said, can you give me a better deal? And he goes, no, I don't think so. I said, okay. He said, what do you want? I said, well, this one. He goes, you have to buy it all. And I'm in my car, and I'm like, I don't want to buy it all. He says, you got to buy it all. And I knew there was, so I said, wait a minute, real quick, I looked, and there was 86 of the little things that go in your camera, okay, and it was 86 of these, 42 of them, and I was like, okay, that's about $1,500. So I said, never mind all the rest of the stuff. So I said, how much do you want? He goes, you make me an offer. And I'm like, no, you don't do that, but I didn't want to make him mad, so I said, how about $500? He goes, no way, give me 4. Okay. So we went up to the cosmetic desk, and he just typed in $400.
Oh,
He didn't
shit.
ring up nothing. I scanned my card, and he said, okay. And the girls, he called 2 girls out of the back, and they got 7 shopping carts, and put it all in my car. That weekend, down in Midlothian, my grandchildren, okay, the older ones, had a yard sale, and they sold all the Walgreens material stuff, because it's hard to sell private brand on Amazon. And they sold it all for $1 a piece, and they got $624, and still had stuff left over. And I told them they could keep it. And what I got was, I got about $3,000 out of it, I think. But I've never encountered another one. And when I mention it to them, they all go, "That'll get me fired." I said, "Well, maybe he didn't care anymore." My Walgreens manager in my hometown before I moved here, this place called Fernandina Beach, Florida. It's a small little beach town. If you ever want to go on vacation, it's beautiful. It's hardly anybody on the beach. It's really nice. And there's a Walgreens there, and I probably constituted 1/5 of their income, you know. So when she first saw me, she said, "What are you doing?" And I told her, And I said, can you give me a deal? And she goes, I can't, I'm sorry, it's not allowed. I said, okay. And then I bought 5 or 6 things that met my metrics. And then I would go in every other day on the way out of town shopping and just look and see if they'd marked them down yet, because every week or so they would mark it down. And next time she sees me, she goes, you gonna buy some more stuff? She was all excited, and I said, I hope to get a few. So I got about 10 things in my cart, and she goes, that's all you're gonna buy? And I said, yeah. I said, this is what I do. So I scanned it, I said, see, this sells for $14, and the net is I can't buy that. I said, now if you can give me 50% off, then it's $7 and I get 14, I can double my money. And she goes, oh, I can do that because I was gonna do that next week anyway. I said, cool. So I said, well, I'll go ahead and do it. And I walk out with $500 or $600 worth of stuff. I still didn't take everything. So over the next year, I go in every time. I probably have taken 40 or 50 scanner monkeys in there with me that flew into Fernandina Beach. I had one lady flying from California, didn't tell me. She calls, says, I'm at the airport. You coming to get me? I go, who are you? She goes, I sent you an email, and it had gone into my, what do you call it? Spam. And I never responded. And she goes, well, and my wife was having an operation that day. And I said, I'm sorry, I can't. She was real mad. She tried to badmouth me and everything. But, bottom line, a lot of people would come to visit me and go source with me. So the last time I went in there with some people that were from Miami, and they drove up. And as we're walking in the door, I'm telling them how wonderful this Walgreens is. It's different than what they ever expected. Walk in the door, and there's the manager off to the side. And she's a woman, and I flirt with her constantly. And she goes, hi, John. She goes, I want to introduce you to the new assistant manager. And he comes over, shakes my hand, and she knows I'm leaving. And she goes, oh no, he's going to be moving. She goes, so we got to get as much as we can to him. She goes, basically, I told him, everybody in here, John, you get 50% off anything clearance in the store every time you come in, okay? When it's an orange sticker, green sticker, whatever department, doesn't matter, it's 50% off. That's okay. So for that day, the people that were with me, they bought $800 worth of stuff. And then they left my group the next week. And that's what I'm saying, you never know. I thought I was helping them, and then the next week she didn't want to pay the $100 for the month and left. So you never know. But after that, now when I went back in there, and I went in and I did buy a few $100 worth, and they said they missed me because there's nobody there to get it. And I've sent people there from Jacksonville. So go in and tell them you're John's friend, TRex. And they don't have the courage, I guess, to bring it up or whatever. So it's called building relationships. That's what I told people back when I used to do eBay and I would be buying at flea markets or yard sales. People would say, what do you do for a living? I said, I build relationships. I have dated women from yard sales. I married a woman from a yard sale. I've sold houses. I was a real estate agent for a yard sale. And 15 years ago, I wrote the screenplay called Yard Sale Armageddon. Okay? And I tried to sell it to Hollywood, and it was going to be about me and my 3 friends. One of them had a pawn shop. The other one did storage auctions, and the other one was an antique picker. And I wanted $1 million for 1 year. And then I wanted them to open a show up to the rest of the United States.
Pitch it to Spike TV. I bet they'll take it.
To what?
Spike TV.
Oh, well, let me finish the conversation. Okay? So, needless to say, we couldn't come to a meeting of the minds and wanted me to book for 5 years, and I said no. And same time, I was drafting up something about my extreme couponing at the same time that I was doing, where I was buying groceries and getting them to give me money. So, nothing happened. We walked away. 5 years later, Storage Wars came out, Pawn Stars, American Picker, and now Thrifting with the Boys is what John was doing. He was the guy selling on eBay, going and buying shirts and all that stuff. So who knows? But anyway, we won't say that it came from me. So that's who I am. I'm an old guy. Been around forever.
We have another question.
Actually, question related to the growing pain kind of. Let's say if you grow a little too fast, and you need the money for the inventory. What is the best source to have? Kind of finance. I know real estate people tend to invest a lot in Dallas area. There are a bunch of investors who are investing in real estate. Versus this investment is totally different. How do you approach the investor to invest in the growing pain kind of area? Kind of, let's say you grew from 5,000 a month directly to 30,000 a month. Now you need the money for the inventory more.
You wouldn't if you followed me, because I'd show you how to do it right. But okay. Anyway, doing what you're talking, that's what a lot of people do. And
it is a private label product, so and a clothing product, you need to plan it ahead of
right.
time.
You do everything, you plan it from the beginning. Like I said, I did $12,000 in April, and I'm doing $50,000 this month. That's growing pretty quick, okay? There are plenty of places you can borrow money from. I recommend family, if you want to ruin your life.
There is the online as well. Cabbage does it for 6-month financing.
Okay, I have borrowed from Cabbage. It's not a problem. If you borrowing money, I'm not Dwayne Malik. Okay, I firmly believe in credit cards and everything else. But the reason why I was homeless 5.5 years ago was because I lost $1 million in real estate. Okay, so once you've done it, you can do it again. But I didn't feel at the time. I was depressed, drinking myself to the ground, and staying in a friend's garage on a dirt floor with a possum. But that's in my book. Bottom line is, nobody would lend me any money. My girlfriend lent me $500, and I gave her $2,000 back that month, and I went on and turned it into what happened. But I learned from the mistakes of having too much in that I couldn't afford. What happened was Katrina came along, and even though it didn't really hit Florida, it hit Florida real estate. And all of a sudden, people didn't want to move to Florida no more, and all the association fees went through the roof to cover the insurance, and I went from a $10,000 a month positive cash flow to a $10,000 a month negative cash flow. And when you're only selling $7,000 on eBay, it's kind of hard to pay $10,000 out of your pocket. So I lost everything and started over. So what you're saying hits home, but that's part of the reason why you shouldn't grow too fast. Okay, the rule of thumb that I give people is 20% a month. And I know people are impatient, they don't want to wait. But if you look at it and you start off with, let's say you're at 2,000, next month you're at 2,400, month after that you're at 3,000, then you're at 36. Before you know it, you're up 10, 20, 30,000. Now, investors is fine, okay? You don't want to hear it, I understand that, but I'm going to tell you what it is, okay? This is the difference, okay? There's a guy named RB3, okay? Some of you know.
Richard Bagley.
Okay, Richard Bagley Jr., okay? He contacted me in September of last year, told me that he wanted to get into this, and he was starting to sell on Amazon, and he was going to be a guru, whatever you want to call it. And I personally helped him over the next 4 months when he would call, probably 4 or 5 times a week, and gave him insights into things to do. And he raised his business up to $40,000. And he did a lot of it with credit cards.
Rethink her
And
business.
his goal was to make $200,000 net. And he probably could have done 100, because he's one of the few people that was driven enough to do it, but he had a family that he had to take care of, and as a result, some people say he failed, he had to go back to work, whatever the case may be. And he got investors, he borrowed money from friends, and it basically bit him in the butt. So I'm just saying, I understand what you're saying. Leverage, you can leverage from whatever. He was involved with the real estate field. I just told you I lost a ton of money in real estate. I know people who want to lend me $100,000 tomorrow, and I'm not going to take it. Say not a borrower, lender, B, whatever it is. I've been there, I've done that, I've lost it, and I just say, if you build your foundation slowly, you won't have that issue. But Cabbage is a viable resource. There are other ones lending. I get them in the mail every day. Okay, people saying, hey, we'll give you a better rate, etc. And the key is you have to treat it that way. To give an example, I just went down to Austin, Texas, or whatever, and there was a young lady there I'd met before, and she was having trouble. I'd seen her 6 months ago, and she still wasn't making it because she had family commitments, like a lot of you probably do. And I tell people, when you're starting out in this business, whatever you start out with, $200, it's not yours. Okay, if you borrow $500 from your mom, and once you've sold $3,000, you can give her back the $500. Okay, it's still not yours. And people go, but I got to pay my car insurance. Well, how would you have done it if you didn't have this? It's a business. This is not friendship. This is a business. So if you start out with $500, you don't touch that money for at least 6 months. There's no reason why anybody can't be up making $3,000 a month doing this business with retail arbitrage. Okay, so once you reach that level, yeah, you can pay yourself back the money you started. If your needs are only $1,500 a month, you can pay yourself $1,500 a month and invest the $1,500 back into it. But when this is I'm telling you, it's such this erroneous information on all the forums and stuff. When people see people coming in and selling $100,000 in their 6th month, everybody wants to be in that shoes. I can teach you how to do that. Yeah, I could too, but can you do it? How many people have that discipline? How many people are going to give up their life and everything else? So I'm not saying don't borrow it. I would borrow it. The same thing. Let's talk about Sam Cohen again. This is a wonderful man. He's got a business in New Jersey doing $5 million. So he really knows what he's doing. He was on one of the forums one day and he said, how come when I buy 100 or something, the first 50 sell at a profit, The second 20 I break even, and the last 30 I lose.